everyone, today I have the Xiaomi 17 Ultra and I'm going to be putting this camera to the test at a professional portrait photo shoot to show you what it's capable of for both photo and video. Let's get into it. We're going to start off by shooting with the 1x camera. I'm going to be in RAW, so I am shooting in Pro mode at the moment. The Xiaomi 17 Ultra features a 1-inch type sensor and has 3 Leica rear cameras including ultra-wide, main, and a brand new mechanical zoom telephoto camera with a focal range of 75 to 100 millimeters that I'll be testing out on location. Let's start with the main camera, which is the full frame focal length equivalent of 23 millimeters. In the 1x camera, you are able to shoot in RAW plus JPEG in up to 50 megapixels in Pro mode, so that's what I'm doing for this photo shoot. I really appreciate being able to do this as a photographer, as I like the flexibility a RAW file gives you to be able to edit your shots, and you'll see why in a moment. Throughout this video, I'll label whether you're looking at the RAW, JPEG, edited, or unedited file. You'll see unedited 100% crops so you can see the true detail, followed by my edits using my Hazel Lightroom preset pack, which I've linked down below for you. Before we start, to be transparent, I do keep this phone, but Xiaomi hasn't paid me, they haven't told me what to say, and they don't see the video before I post it. I'm genuinely putting it through a professional photo shoot to see what it's capable of, and I'll let you know where it shines and where it falls short. Could be cool just one shot here against the black as well. I love the color. Yeah. Oh, wow. Can we go that way a little bit? I'm getting like the drain in there. The main camera produces really great images. I was using the Leica Vibrant color profile for this shoot. We didn't have the best weather to work with. It was quite gloomy and overcast, so I thought this produced the best colors for the location. The images the main camera takes are nice and sharp with lots of details. Something I noticed is that when you're shooting in 50 megapixel mode, the phones seem to always want to overexpose my images compared to when I'm in 12.5 megapixel mode, where the exposure was more even, which looks better for skin tones as you don't want to have any overexposed areas of the skin. This is where the RAW images came in handy, as I was able to edit the 50 megapixel photos more to my liking. When I am testing out phone cameras, I like to let them perform without too much interference from me so we can see how they are really like. So something you could do if you notice this happening is lowering the exposure compensation in Pro mode to save those highlights. This phone uses Snapdragon 8, and I have to say it performed really well on the day of our photo shoot. This is a power user situation where I'm shooting in RAW plus JPEG, taking hundreds of photos over the span of an hour or so. And do you want to do one if you kind of like rest your head in your hand a little bit? All while screen recording at the same time, and the phone had 0 issues with it. It always kept up no matter what I put it through, which is really great to see. Yeah, I think maybe if you stand out here on the footpath, so it's like just kind of like in the background, you know? So I'm going to be shooting on the ultra wide angle lens now, which is 0.6 times. I'm going to start off by shooting in RAW, which gives me 12.5 megapixel photos, and then I'll switch over to JPEG so we can get the 50 megapixel photos. And then let's do one if you like lean right up against it, like I think right in the middle of the word. Yeah. Next up is the Leica ultra wide camera with a 50 megapixel sensor and a focal length equivalent of 14 millimeters, which gives you a 115 degree field of view. I really enjoy using this ultra wide camera to do photography with. The images are impressively sharp across the entire frame, with only minimal distortion in the far corners, which is completely expected at this wide focal length. Where things get interesting is when you compare the RAW files to the JPEGs. The RAW images are absolutely stunning. They are very sharp, you can see so much detail, and the highlights and shadows are fully recoverable. There is a touch of noise, but it looks pretty natural and the images are still completely usable. I like that with your arms up because it's like quite wide. It looks nice when you've got like kind of bigger posing. On the other hand, I do think the JPEG processing on the ultra wide can be a little heavy-handed. The colors are beautiful in the JPEGs, but the skin texture looks a lot smoother and there isn't as much detail in the frame. The highlights also could have been recovered a bit more. This could be due to having stronger noise reduction in the JPEGs. I'm not really sure, but you can see the difference when you compare it to the RAWs. The light is so good. I want to get like a close-up shot. Yeah. Let's take a look at the telephoto camera next, which gives you a range of focal lengths from 75mm to 100mm in up to 200 megapixels. You can get as close as you can this way. Yeah, that's perfect. Oh, that's stunning. It's like you're in the jungle. In Pro mode, you can shoot in RAW in up to 12.5 megapixels and JPEG mode for 50 and 200 megapixels. Now, this is the standout camera for the 17 Ultra because it produces absolutely beautiful pictures. Wow, wow, wow. By the way, if you want to learn how to take better photos using natural light, my Mastering Natural Light for Portrait Photography workshop is now available. If you struggle to capture consistent results at your photo shoots, or you get stuck knowing if the lighting you're working with looks good or not, then I created a 3-hour online workshop split into short videos that you can watch at your own pace to learn everything I know about getting the best results with natural light. I'll leave a link down below if you're interested in getting access. It looks cool with your hands like that. While we captured nice images with the other cameras, telephoto zooms really shine for portrait photography, as you can see from these examples. This is largely due to the compression a telephoto lens provides. I was able to capture some great images from close-ups to full body shots. And regardless of how close or far away I was from Eva, the camera produced sharp, consistent results with great colors. So I'm still at 3.2 times here. I'm just gonna get some further away shots so we have something different to look at rather than just a headshot. I especially love how the greens render in these shots. Something else to note is you can reach up to 400mm digital zoom with this camera, which is up to 17.2 times. And I'll get a couple of shots at 4.3 times too, and I'm just kind of down low so we can get those trees in the far background there because they are making some nice bokeh in the background. So we'll take a look at that too. I'm gonna get some portrait mode shots here because we do have like a really busy background, so I think it'll be interesting to see what it looks like. And I'll get like a close-up shot of you here. It did a great job with edge detection. The masking is clean and the background bokeh is nice and smooth. The front selfie camera produces up to 50 megapixel files and is the full frame focal length equivalent of 21mm, which is a 90-degree field of view. I like how there isn't too much over-processing or sharpening, so the images are quite flattering. The sun also finally decided to come out, so I'm glad I have some extra lighting options to share with you now. Finally, let's see what this phone is capable of with video. So we're gonna do some video now. Again, I'm gonna start with the 1x camera and I'm filming in 4K 60p. And we're gonna get some still shots and some movement shots. You can film in up to 8K 30p in standard picture profile, but one of the main upgrades in the 17 Ultra is the ability to record in 4K at 120 FPS with Dolby Vision, which is essentially HDR. You can also film in 4K 120 FPS in log, which is very useful if you like color grading your footage. Here are all the Pro mode frame rates you can record with each of the different cameras. What I use regularly while filming is 4K 60p. If you switch over to normal shooting mode instead of Pro, you can also film in up to 4K 60p and 8K 30p with 8.6 times digital zoom. This one's ultra wide, so it's like full body. This one, feel free, you can like kind of like kick around, think like wide.
It's like, yeah, be like big angle.
Yes, yeah. I really enjoy what the video files look like from the 17 Ultra. Again, you are seeing that sharpness come through and the classic Leica colors. I also appreciate how much customization is available in these cameras for both photo and video, including the ability to film in standard, Dolby Vision or log, and create your own custom camera setting presets once you've dialed in the settings that you like to shoot with. And then I'll get one at 4 points, so this one's really zoomed in. You can also apply your own LUTs for video while you're filming. These are only for monitoring, so they are not burnt into the video. So I'm gonna get some 8K video samples for us to have a look at as well. This is with the main camera. A couple of things to note is that features like Leica filters, bokeh, and beautify only work in up to 1080 30p. Stabilization is fantastic in this camera. You'll be able to see more samples in just a moment when I test it out for vlogging, but I made sure to move and walk around as much as possible while filming with Eva so we can really see what it looks like. It's great how smooth and steady it is while still looking natural. The sun has finally come out, so we're going to be testing this camera for vlogging now. So this is with the selfie camera, and I'm just going to walk and talk so we can get a feel for what the footage looks like. I've got the sun directly on me too, and I'm filming in 4K 60p. So have a look at that, and I'll also move around a little bit so you can see how the exposure changes in the selfie camera too. So we'll go from backlit to brightly lit and back to backlit again. I'll also show you what vlogging looks like with the rear cameras as well. I've actually got this little Wi-Fi screen to help me see what it is that I'm recording, because otherwise you're just kind of not sure if you're framing the shot correctly. So this little thing helps so much. I'll leave a link down below if you want to get it as well. But I'm going to start off with the 0.6 times camera. So even though we do have these convenient selfie cameras on phones, I always love filming with the rear cameras because it's just going to be so much better quality. Filming in 0.6 times as well just gives you a much larger field of view, so you will be able to see more of the location. And I also thought, since we have sun now compared to our photo shoot, I'm going to be filming in log so we can see what that looks like too when we grade it. So now I'm going to test out vlogging with the 1x main camera. So this is what it looks like. I'll also put it up side by side to the selfie camera so you can see the difference in quality and field of view as well. And I'll just walk in the same pathway so we can see IBIS, because I'm also going to do a test with it off too so you can see the difference. And also just move so you can see the exposure change in 1x. So we're back on the main 1x camera one more time, because this time I've switched stabilization off. So now we should be getting a wider field of view because stabilization does crop in a little bit. So I'm going to test the two shots side by side and I'll show them to you so you can see the difference in what that looks like. And this is the 1x main camera with log switched off. So we're just in the Leica color profile because, again, we've got some sun, so we want to see what this looks like when you don't have to color grade it as well. I did also want to show you while we're here the photography kit that you can get for this phone. So it's a phone case. This one has a 67mm filter thread on it that I've put an ND filter on. And it also has this grip that you can attach down the bottom like that. That gives you a nice comfortable way to hold it with a shutter button, a dial, and there's a record button here as well. So that's what it looks like on the phone. Right now is the perfect time to test out the microphone. So far you've been listening to my lav mic, and now I'm going to switch over to the microphone of the Xiaomi. It's perfect to test it out right now because it is super windy, so we'll be able to hear what that sounds like. And this is with smart noise reduction switched off. We have the same amount of wind happening now, but I've switched smart noise reduction on, so we'll see if that helps with the noise of the wind, and we'll see if that changes what my voice sounds like as well. So I'll just talk a little bit so you can get an idea for what that sounds like. So that is all I have for today's review. Let me know which ones are your favorite photos in the comments and what you think of this camera. But thank you so much for watching. I make new videos every single week, so I'll see you all next time. Bye.